Hi, everybody. This is Mrs. Barber, and today I'm going to talk about the science equipment that you would be using here in the science lab, the graduated cylinder and the beaker, and the difference between the two and which one is more accurate and why. So you still need to understand which one can offer the more accurate measurement reading and be able to support why or explain why that is. Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about is our graduated cylinders. Our graduated cylinders come in lots of different sizes. This one measures 10 milliliters. This one goes up to 25 milliliters. This is 50, and this is 100. And all four cylinders have scales that are different. And so each time you measure, and this is the same is true for the worksheets online that you're completing. Every time you measure, you have to figure out the scale or what you are counting by, the value of each of the little tiny subgraduates, which again are all those little lines that are on the cylinder, but they are not numbered. And again, that's for space reasons. They would never be able to fit all those measurements on there. So each time you measure, you have to figure out the scale before you actually use it. Alrighty. The beaker has much bigger graduations, or I should say subgraduates. This one is counting by 25s. So each line is 25 milliliters. So if you needed an exact amount, like let's say you needed 36 milliliters of liquid for a lab, you would have to estimate if you use the beaker because there's not a 36 line. All right, it goes from 25 to 50. So you would be estimating between the two. All right. If you then needed 36, you would use a graduated cylinder because the graduated cylinder, this one here and this one, they both are counting by ones. So you can get exactly 36 milliliters with your cylinder because the cylinder has all the little graduations or the subgraduates that you can measure to the nearest milliliter if necessary. And even with the smaller ones, you can measure to the nearest tenth of a milliliter. These smaller ones have smaller graduations. With the beaker, because you have to estimate because there's not a bunch of lines here, you are not going to get as accurate of a measurement. So the graduated cylinder is more accurate because of all the tiny subgraduates. The beaker is not as accurate, and here it's actually telling you, it literally says plus or minus 5%. It's actually indicating on the device itself that it is going to be up to 5% off with the measurement. So in terms of, if you need exact amounts, you're not going to use a beaker. Beakers are more for if you need like a larger amount of water, and it doesn't have to be exact. It can just be a general amount. Like let's say you need 400 milliliters of water, you would use a beaker. If you need exact, precise amounts, you are going to use a graduated cylinder. What the kids are doing here in school this week is we are doing something called a cup challenge. And we're going to modify this for us. You're doing something similar, but you're using cups and glasses and bowls around your house. But they are taking plastic cups, and there's 5 different sizes. They are filling it to the top, and then they are pouring it into both the beaker. So this is this cup here. I filled this and I have poured it in. And they're also then going from there and transferring it into the graduated cylinder. And then they're going to compare their measurements. So this cup here, what I've done is I've poured it into my beaker. And when you look at a beaker or a cylinder, you're always going to get down at eye level. So you're always going to have it sitting on a flat level surface, and you're going to read at eye level. So you would actually come down, okay? So it's kind of hard for you to see that here, but this is reading at, you would never hold it up like this, by the way. This is reading at roughly 100 milliliters using my beaker, okay? So what I then did was I transferred that into my graduated cylinder. And this is a 100 milliliter graduated cylinder. And again, when you read a cylinder, you read at eye level, it's on a flat level surface, and you're actually reading from the bottom of the meniscus, which is that curved line that forms. It's due to the surface tension. The water molecules are attracted to the sides of the glass. So when I actually measure this same cup in the graduated cylinder, I am getting 92 milliliters. So the graduated cylinder gave me the measurement of 92 milliliters, and this is giving me a measurement of 100. So the graduated cylinder is giving me a more accurate measurement. versus the Beaker, because again, it's wider and the graduations, the lines, there's fewer of them and they have a bigger gap in them. This is counting by 25s versus this is counting by ones. All right. So I hope this helps clear up why the graduated cylinder is both accurate and precise. The Beaker itself is still precise. If you think about the precision versus accuracy discussion we had in our Nearpod the other day, because if I asked you 5 separate times to get me 100 milliliters of water, it would be close each and every time. And that's what precision is. It's getting accurate results, or I should say not accurate results. It's getting consistent results over and over. So you'd be able to do that with the Beaker, which is just precise. Accuracy, though. A lot of the things you're going to do in your upcoming years of science, you're going to need exact amounts of things. So you're going to use the cylinder, the graduated cylinder. Alrighty, I hope this helps. And again, you're going to explain which one provides the most accurate measurement and explain why. Thanks. I'll talk to you later.